Hey guys, my name is Kevin, and today we're going to talk a little bit about music theory, and I know those words can sometimes scare you away, but I promise they're super useful to you. And there's a term that we're going to talk about today called transposing. Some of you have brought this up to me before. I know it's kind of a question that looms out there, so I'm going to tell you about transposing, what it is, why you need to learn it, and how to do it, and I'm going to make you an expert in transposition. So get yourself tuned up and let's get to it. Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and click that alert bell so you know when the next video is coming your way. If you're interested in more learning resources, head over to AllForUke.com where we have a full searchable library of songs, song sheets, practice tracks, worksheets, and more. All for you, AllForUke.com. So what is transposition and why would you use it? Well, quite simply, transposing means to change the key of a piece of music. This could be a song, a chord progression, it could be a melody, but all you're doing is actually taking it from one key to another. Now, why would you ever want to do this? Well, there's a couple different reasons. I know as a singer and a songwriter myself, I use transposing to kind of find more comfortable keys for singing. I also sometimes try to find a key that's easier to play the chords. And maybe sometimes I just want to try something totally different and take a chord progression and move it to a different place to see how it sounds. So now you know what transposing is and why you might use it. Let's figure out how to do it together. All right, so before we learn how to transpose, we need to learn what chords exist within a key. So in the key of C, you have 7 chords that you can use. Now, what that means is all of those chords fit within the key of C. So they all kind of sound good together. They can all be used in different orders, but they all work within that parent key. So in the key of C, we have our 1 chord, which is C. We have our 2 chord, which is D minor. We have our 3 chord, which is E minor. Our 4 chord, which is F major. Our 5 chord, which is G, could also be substituted as G7. Our 6 chord, which is A minor. And our 7 chord, which is B diminished. And then we go back to 1, which is our C chord. So those are all the chords that we have in the key of C. Now, we know that they each are assigned to a numeral. So in the example that we're going to use today, I'm going to take the 1 chord, which is C, the 4 chord, which is F, the 5 chord, which is G, and the 6 chord, which is A minor, and we're going to transpose those to a different key. So the first transposition we'll do is changing all of those chords from the key of C to the key of D. So how do we do that now? Let's take a look. All right, so now we know what chords we have in the key of C, and if you look below, you'll see right below that the chords in the key of D and how they relate to the chords in the key of C. So when we have our C chord as our 1 chord, to transpose that to D, all we do is we make D our 1 chord. So now D is our starting point. So everything now relates back to D as the 1 chord. So you could easily just use the key chord chart and just follow right down the line, and you could transpose to any key you'd like as long as you follow that column where the 1 chord is. So we have our D chord as 1. Our 6 chord, instead of being A minor, becomes B minor. Our 5 chord, which was the G chord in the key of C, now becomes the A chord. And then our 4 chord, which was F in the key of C, now becomes, well, what does it become? A G chord. All right, so now we're going to play this progression in the key of C, and then we're going to play it in the key of D so you can hear the differences and the similarities here. So the progression numerically that we're going to use is C, A minor, G, and F. So that's a 1, 6, 5, 4 progression. So I'm just going to demonstrate this with the island strum so you can hear the movement here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. To the 6, to the I'm going to play the equivalents of that in the key of D. So my first chord will be starting on the D chord as the 1. So we have D to the 6, B minor, to the 5, to the 4. So you can hear they sound pretty similar because they're all the same intervals, same distance apart, just in a different key. If you're digging the sound of my uke, head over to AllForUke.com/shop. You can have a Kala ukulele for yourself. When you buy your Kala ukulele through AllForUke, you're supporting us, and we really appreciate it. Make sure you check it out. Concerts, sopranos, tenors, baritones, a wide selection of accessories, capos, and more. All for you, AllForUke.com/shop. All right, so that was a quick transposition from the key of C to the key of D. But let's say you're trying to sing a song and that's not quite sitting right with you and you want to take it a little bit higher in pitch, or maybe the vocalist needs it a little bit higher in pitch. So now I'm going to demonstrate the key of C, and then we're going to take it and transpose it up to the key of F. So you'll hear quite a little difference between these two chord progressions. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the 6. To the 5. To the 4. And now, same chord progression in the key of F. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, F. To the 6, which is D minor. To the C, the 5, and the 4. B flat, everybody's favorite. Here we go again. F. To the 6. To the 5. To the 4. So you can hear there, same chord interval movement in the key, because you're always going 1, 6, 5, 4. So you're always going to have that same feel of movement within the key, but you're just replacing it with some different chords. So we've done the key of C to D, we've went C to F. Now let's say you're playing a song, but it feels too high for you in the key of C, and you want to lower the pitch, so you want to go down in the key. So maybe we take it from the key of C down to the key of A. All right, here we go again. 1, 6, 5, 4 in the key of C. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the 6. To the 5. To the 4. Now, same thing. We're going to drop this down to the key of A. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, F sharp minor, to the 5, which is E, to the 4, back to the 1, to the 6, to the 5, to the 4, back to the 1. Well, hey, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you're feeling more confident in transposing keys. I know it's a concept that's kind of elusive for some of us, but I hope that this procedure today kind of clears some things up for you. Now, my challenge to you is to take a song that you already know the chords for and transpose it to a different key. Maybe it's I'm Yours by Jason Mraz or Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Take that chord progression, plug it in with the method that we used today, and see if you can transpose it to a different key. I promise it'll be a lot of fun and enlightening for you. Speaking of which, I also have a website called AllForUke.com. You may have heard of it before, where I have some worksheets, exercises put together with this concept so you can have a little homework and challenge yourself to learn how to transpose. So again, my name is Kevin. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Happy strumming.
Let's get